6:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Dulmin Samarasinghe and read by Geethanjali Ramanayaka. The headlines. Britain welcomes steps taken by the Sri Lankan government to minimize effects of climate change. The 43rd Brigade states that the Ceylon Electricity Board should not be privatized. Minister of Power and Energy says electricity bills will be issued online. Foreign news, the UN calls for peace pact with nature. Sports, the third match of the Lanka Premier League is underway at Hambantota. News in detail. Great Britain expresses willingness to provide technical assistance in order to implement Sri Lanka's climate prosperity plan. The Deputy British High Commissioner to Sri Lanka, Lisa Vanstall, commended steps taken by the Sri Lankan government to minimize the effects of climate change. She further promised the necessary technical and theoretical knowledge to be transferred to Sri Lanka in the future. She ascertained maximum support for the prospective international university on climate changes proposed by the President. She welcomed Sri Lanka's drive towards sustainable energy. These views were expressed at a discussion held between the President's Senior Advisor on Climate Change, Ruwan Wijewardena, and the Deputy British High Commissioner at the Presidential Secretariat today. Senior Advisor Wijewardena further said that an office will be established in Sri Lanka in order to monitor climate changes of the region, and the government is currently focusing on green hydrogen energy. The 43rd Brigade states that the Ceylon Electricity Board should not be privatized. MP Champika Ranawaka emphasized that the CEB should continue as a public enterprise since there is a risk of being bankrupt if privatized. He said this joining a media briefing held at Colombo today. He further pointed out that there is no right to privatize the hydropower plants. MP Ranawaka said that he is opposing the idea of privatization. Instead of that, the electricity bill must be increased for heavy consumers and the ordinary consumers must be charged at concessionary rates. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Minister Kanchana Wijesekara says that action will be taken to issue the electricity bills and payment receipts online from next January. Fixing and usage of street lamps will be regulated. Decisions have been taken to cut down the cost of maintenance by using the electricity board and local authority staff instead of private sector workers. A special meeting was held by the minister with the top-level officers of the electricity board focusing on management of expenditure and efficiency. Minister Prasanna Rantunga instructed officers to formulate a land bank enlisting lands owned by the Urban Development Authority. Minister of Urban Development and Housing says the UDA possesses over 1,008 acres of land and buildings in main cities of the island with higher land value. The minister said he is expecting to use such underutilized, expensive lands according to a national utilization plan. It is also reported that some elements have forcibly encroached such land owned by the UDA island-wide. The minister expressed his confidence by implementing a formal land bank. It would help to identify such lands that could be used to the country's economic development. And that ends local news for now.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Police media spokesman, Senior Superintendent of Police Nihal Taldua says that parents should pay attention on preventing children taking to drugs. There is a subtle program to encourage children to take drugs. The parents should be vigilant on behavioral changes in children and their associates. He further pointed out tendency of drug addiction has been identified due to the giving of excessive amounts of money to children. And that was our main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Watch Life by
Celebrate Christmas and New Year with lots of CIB discounts. Valuable gifts with bank discounts till 31st of December. Come to CIB today.
The Water Supply and Drainage Board informs that water supply will be interrupted for 8 hours in Izzadeen town, Malimbadamatra, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. tomorrow due to essential maintenance activities. The water board said water supply to Madiha, Kambrugamua, Kotavila, Henvala, Mirissa, Wavahamandua, Kambrugamua to Mirissa section of the Gaul Road will be interrupted. And that came to you in Watchlight.
Celebrate Christmas and New Year with lots of CIB discounts. Valuable gifts discounts till 31st of December. Come to CIB today.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
We give you the strength to rise higher and higher.
Never step back, but always march forward.
Empowering you to reach greater heights. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
World News headlines. The UN calls for peace pact with nature. China rolls back strict COVID rules after protests. And Argentina Vice President found guilty of corruption. The head of the United Nations has warned that humanity has become a weapon of mass extinction. The statement was made at the start of a high-level nature summit in Canada. Governments are meeting in Montreal to agree targets to reserve the loss of nature. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres said that the world has a chance to stop the orgy of destruction which has put a million species at risk of extinction. In Montreal, nearly 200 countries will try to agree on a way to put the world on a path to restoring nature by the end of the decade. A court in Argentina has sentenced Vice President Cristina Fernández de Kirchner to 6 years in jail for corruption in a case that has shaken the country. She was found guilty of fraudulent administration over the awarding of public work contracts to a friend, but she is unlikely to serve jail time. Vice President Fernandez has some immunity while her government rolls and is expected to launch a lengthy appeal process. She has also been banned from public office for life, but will continue in her role as Vice President while the case goes through higher courts. China is lifting its most severe COVID policies, including forcing people into quarantine camps just a week after landmark protests against the strict controls. People with COVID can now isolate at home rather than in state facilities if they have mild or no symptoms. They also no longer need to show tests for most venues and can travel more freely inside the country. Citizens have expressed relief but also concern about the sudden changes. Back to the headlines of the world news. The UN calls for peace pact with nature. China rolls back strict COVID rules after protests. And Argentina Vice President found guilty of corruption. That ends World News.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
Amidst all challenges, we will rally around you and advance.
In the face of hardships, let's stand strong together.
Empowering you to reach greater heights. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Gaul Harbour is to be developed as a tourist harbour. Minister Ramesh Patrana says that action has been taken to construct a new breakwater. A feasibility study is being conducted to explore the possibility of deepening and expanding the harbour. Approximately $175 billion are needed for the project. He says that 3 investors have already expressed their willingness to invest. And that came to you on development news. And moving on to sports news. The third match of the LPL tournament is currently being played between the Dambulla Aura and Jaffna Kings at Hambantota. After winning the toss, Dambulla Aura decided to bat first. At the end of their 20 overs, Dambulla Aura scored 121 runs. Jordan Cox scored 43 runs in 22 balls with 4 sixers and 3 boundaries. Mahesh Dikshana and Vijaykant Vyaskant took 3 wickets each for Jaffna Kings. And that was sports news.
The fastest way to earn the highest interest. An interest rate of 22% in 4 months. NSB, the safest place for your money.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
98 Acres Resort and Spa, which is a subsidiary of UHE Group, was recently awarded as the #1 luxury mountain resort in Asia at the 16th World Luxury Hotel Awards 2022 in Turkey. The prestigious award recognized 98 Acres Resort and Spa, placing it on par with some of the world's most sought-after luxury hotels and resorts known for their exclusive service and quality. And that was Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The fastest way to earn the highest interest, an interest rate of 22% in 4 months. NSB, the safest place for your money.
Economic news.
"17 cruise ships are scheduled to arrive in Sri Lanka next year, with Queen Mary II, one of the largest and popular ships, Colombo's harbour master said, as the island nation is looking for alternative avenues to boost its faltered tourism sector. Colombo Port Harbour Master Nimal Silva said that the rise is expected to bring thousands of high-end tourists with higher spending capacity after 2 years. And that was Economic News.
LOLC Finance is taking the power of innovation to the next level, winning 5 goals at the Technovation Awards 2022, leading the digital revolution with cutting-edge interbanking digital payments. LOLC Finance claims the overall Gold Award, whilst also claiming an extraordinary victory in digital banking. LOLC Finance will continue to innovate with the next generation digitalization of financial services, delivering a superior customer experience.
Finally, on to the weather report. The deep depression located over southeast Bay of Bengal is likely to move west-northwestwards, intensify further gradually into a cyclonic storm around this evening. The system is likely to approach the coast of North Tamil Nadu, Puducherry and South Andhra Pradesh over southwest Bay of Bengal tomorrow morning. Cloudy skies will prevail over most parts of the island. Showers will occur at times in the northern and north central provinces and in Trincomalee district. Heavy rainfall above 100 mm can be expected at some places in the northern province and Trincomalee district. Strong winds about 50 to 60 km per hour can be expected at times over the northern, north central and eastern provinces. A few showers may occur in the western province and in the Galle and Mathura districts. That was the weather report. And to conclude this news broadcast, the headlines once again. Britain welcomes steps taken by the Sri Lankan government to minimize effects of climate change. The 43rd Brigade states that the Ceylon Electricity Board should not be privatized. Minister of Power and Energy says electricity bills will be issued online. Foreign news, the UN calls for peace pact with nature. Sports, cricket, the third match of the Lanka Premier League is underway at Hambantota. And with that we end this news broadcast from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.